Welcome to season 3 of She's All Over the Place. I am so excited to have you here to add value, to inspire you. And today we have a special guest on. So many of you are probably aware of Earth Day, Earth Week, Earth Month. I mean, let's just celebrate Earth every single day, right? Well, I have a powerhouse on for you today, and she is the president and CEO of ECOS. What? Kelly Vlahakis-Hanks. And with no further ado, we're just gonna bring it right on. How you doing, Kelly?
Hi, Kitty. It is so wonderful to be here with you, especially during Earth Month and as we approach Earth Day. I love the podcast and everything you do on She's All Over the Place. So great to be here with you today.
Thank you. Thank you. That really means a lot coming from you. You were born. You were like we breathe fresh air, and you literally, because of your father who created ECOS, were born into an environmental world. So not only do we all breathe when we wake up and sleep, you have a conscious mindset of the environment and the toxins, and not only psychological, physical, the toxins in the airs and in the chemicals and in the products. So please, I mean, if you just want to dive right in and tell us maybe about your dad and like maybe why he started ECOS and how the reins went to you, and what ECOS is for the people who don't know.
Great. Well, thank you. So, my father started our company back in 1967. He first came to this country from Greece, something you and I share in common, some Greek heritage. And he came from the island of Crete. And he came here when he was 18 years old, $22 in his pocket, didn't speak the English language, lived in homeless shelters. A really amazing story. And ended up going to Roosevelt University to study chemistry because of the Greek root words, went on to become a chemist. And there's actually a really great Hollywood feature film with Billy Zane and Malcolm McDowell called A Green Story that your audience might enjoy watching. I was played by Shannon Elizabeth, so I look really good on screen. That really kind of documents his story of coming to America and of starting our company 54 years ago. And at that time, he was really, really concerned about all of the toxic ingredients that people were putting in cleaning products here in the United States. And so in 67, in his garage, he started our company with a vision to create safer cleaning products, and really inspired by growing up in Greece and his mother using lemon and vinegar and natural ingredients. And he was wondering why we were using so many toxins, because honestly, Kyriaki, cleaning should not mean spreading toxins. And yet it's what we do all the time here. And so, his vision has certainly grown over the years as consumers have become more aware of the dangers of traditional cleaning products. I now have 4 geographically diverse manufacturing facilities here in the United States, creating our ECOS brand. I'm talking to you today from our California headquarters, but we've got facilities in Illinois and New Jersey and Washington. All of our facilities are carbon neutral, they're water neutral, they're platinum zero waste, so sustainable manufacturing as well. And we're really just committed to creating the cleanest and greenest products in the marketplace, because we believe everyone has the right to a healthy home, and we all have the right to a healthy shared planet.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. So thank you for that. And I just want to tell you the whole entire time, I'm just like so moved emotionally. And I'm just loving your dad, and homage to your father and who he is and his purpose on the planet, because this chemist, this man who had this integrous energy from your yaya, and he came over here and studied, and he took actionable steps so we in the 21st century can be a part of an ecosystem that's healthy for the environment, not only for our body, but overall for our overall lifestyle. And this is because people like your fathers, people who made an impact and took a stance in the 60s to now,
Yes.
40 years
And
later. I mean, this is so prolific.
absolutely, Kitty. Can you could imagine in the 60s, people were not even yet speaking about organic foods, and they weren't thinking about personal care products. So he really was such a visionary man. And, he went through so many hardships growing up, obviously during World War II, Nazi occupied Greece, lost his father in the concentration camps. I mean, the Civil War, and hiding on a ship to come to another land. And, it's beautiful. He lived a life full of purpose. And although we lost him many years ago, I'm certainly proud to lead a company that is so environmentally responsible and socially responsible. And we've just got a great team here at ECOS. And, Kidiki, this year, I would say that cleaning has been on everyone's minds as we've navigated our way through the pandemic. I think that, the national conversation around cleaning has really been elevated, with people realizing the great importance in terms of protecting your health. But it's important as we have these conversations about cleaning that the pendulum doesn't swing too far, and that we're not using things just with kill claims, because we too are living organisms. And we want to make sure that the actions we take to protect ourselves, either from COVID-19 or from other bacteria or viruses, doesn't do long-term harm to our health. And I think it's something that a lot of people don't realize. They go into the grocery store, they buy a cleaning product, and they think somehow it's been checked for human health and safety. And unfortunately, here in the United States, that is simply not the truth. There is nobody checking cleaning products for human health and safety. Yet there's residue on your clothes, there's residue on your plates. You have a glass of water, right? You pour in there and you're drinking every single day out of this glass. If you're drinking from a glass that's got a residue where the product has skulls and crossbones and says do not ingest, yet every day you're drinking it. And the cumulative effect is linked to cancer and asthma, and nerve and organ damage, so many things. So, really educating people about selecting green cleaning products is really of the utmost importance, and certainly what I'm dedicating a lot of my time and energy to these days.
I mean, thank you. And that's exactly why you're on the show, for the listeners and the viewer to see. Oh, anyone who wants to check out the video, go to the Sophisticated Psycho so you can see the beautiful boss lady on the video. This is on the video, or or on the listener, whichever you prefer. But it's so awesome that you're talking about these things and making an impact, because the thing is, it's like, it's invisible. You don't see the toxins. You feel the effects, and then you're like, I don't know why I'm so groggy, or I'm coughing, or these diseases
Yes.
happen within the body. And it's like,
Yes.
because you're not seeing it, you're just, people are going and buying. But when your father started what he did, there wasn't 50 toothpaste brands you could buy. There wasn't 80 different cleaning products. I mean, the consumerism is so overwhelming. It's just,
Yes.
too much. So when he started it, he was just like, going for the gusto here. But the thing is, I mean, especially during the lockdown, I mean, the parents who are having their children like clean. And I mean, I know some families, they're having their kids, they clean. I'm not kidding. 7 days a week with chemicals. And these little 12-year-olds who are having the
Oh,
responsibilities of
oh.
chores, who are
And you know what? The
happening
unfortunate,
so much.
it's so unfortunate. The CDC last Friday came up and they said, actually, we should no longer be disinfecting in our homes like that, right? And that the virus is spread through human to human contact and respiratory droplets, and actually not from surfaces like they originally thought. But, even from the beginning, if people had read the CDC's recommendations, step one was always to clean. It was never to just disinfect continuously, right? It was step one is to clean, because cleaning is the act of removing viruses, germs, dirt, bacteria, right? And you can do that safely with green cleaners. There is no reason to be using petroleum-derived surfactants and all these harsh chemicals to clean, when we can do it with simple hypoallergenic soaps and plant-powered cleaners. And so I really, from the very beginning, was trying to urge people to go to the CDC's website and really read. It said step one is to clean. Step two was to disinfect heavily trafficked surfaces and areas, right? But um, it's so unfortunate that people kind of let the pendulum swing too far, especially because something like COVID-19, it attacks our respiratory system. And so the last thing you want to do is do things that are going to compromise the very organ that is a line of defense for you. You want to support your body, support your immune system, create the healthiest home so that you can be the strongest version of yourself. And I think in wellness routines, people will think about food and they'll think about exercise. But I would really challenge your listeners to think about the environments they live in. Think about the air that they're breathing. Think about the quality of their space. And we've spent so much time in our homes this past year. So I think, your audience probably is thinking more about their homes than ever before. And we want to make sure that they're safe. I remember a few years ago listening to an author talk about a nature deficit disorder. And he was saying that, so many children had such little time outside and in nature because parents were trying to protect them. And in their effort to protect them from the dangers outside, they were keeping them inside and having them watch TV or be on electronic devices. And they weren't outside exploring the environment. And actually, the EPA estimates its indoor air is 5 to 70 times more polluted than outdoor air. So they weren't even outside to enjoy the fresh air. And so, that is really a dangerous trend and something we have to be very mindful of with our young generation.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're on the islands or if you're in California or in Sedona, you can go outside in nature. It's spread out, or in Michigan, wherever. But I mean, some places, New York City, people can't just go outside and
Right,
get the fresh air out there. So they're, like you said,
right.
they're stuck in their home and they're with these chemical cleaning products. And some people, just the thing is, what I want to a couple things that I want to hack into is quality over the quantities, because a lot of people, it's the mindset and the mind growth. And I'm an artist, so I'm very open minded and curious ever since I was a kid. And, with who you are and the company you keep, I'm sure they, have a certain sophistication and a consciousness about them too. Obviously, you're born into this and it's natural for you. But some people, they don't know. They'll go to Rite Aid and they'll just buy whatever, but they don't know. And I don't know how it is with ECOS, but when you go to Whole Foods, ECOS is at Whole Foods, but when you go to Whole Foods, which I love Whole Foods and they're everywhere, a lot of times when you go to that health and wellness area with the vitamins and the lotions and the hair products and the cleaning supply area, a lot of times everything's on sale. Whole Foods has sales all the time where you can get things that are sustainable, and it's you can get them on sale. So a lot of people think, oh, it's so much more money to get something that's green, but the quality over the quantity and spending a couple more dollars, because for long term, I'm a cross country runner. I had short term, medium term, long term goals. So as a runner, what you do as an individual affects the whole. So as a human being, what you do to yourself is going to affect your family and your loved ones, especially if you're a mom in the house or a parent or a responsible person in the house. You're affecting these people who you love and care about, but you're giving them these toxins, and people don't they don't comprehend these things.
Right, right. I would say that something really unique about ECOS is the fact that from the time we started, we always were committed to making green affordable, that you didn't have to be affluent, that you didn't have to pay up for green. And the way we've done that is by manufacturing everything ourselves and by working directly with our retail partner. So you can buy our ECOS brand in Walmart. You can buy it at Costco. You can buy it at Sam's Club. You can buy it wherever you shop, Ralph's, Kroger, you name it. And so we certainly sell our products at Whole Foods, absolutely, a very important natural grocer we work closely with, but we also work with all the conventional grocers as well. And if you walked into Costco, you would see our ECOS, our large bottle is $12.99. The conventional brand is $21.99. So we're not charging as much as they are. And we're able to do that because a lot of the green companies in the past charged a premium for green, and even some of the green science inputs were more expensive. But now that we're buying these things in larger volumes, there's no reason for them to be more expensive than conventional counterparts. And that's been, a huge part of actually our whole Earth Day this year has been partnering with an organization called Green Green for All, which is why I actually met you in the beginning, Kitty Key, from the
Shout out,
amazing Michelle Romero.
shout out to Michelle. What's up? Green for All. We love you. Yeah.
Yes. And, Green for All was started by Van Jones. And the idea was, to build a green economy strong enough to lift people out of poverty and to create green jobs. And certainly that's what we're committed to doing here at ECOS, creating green jobs, paying a minimum wage of $17 an hour, which we started doing back in 2014, because we've always wanted to pay a fair wage to our team members. And, but we're partnering with them, and especially this entire month of April, where if people go and they buy a bottle of our ECOS laundry detergent, we give $1 of it, and we'll give $100,000 of it to Green for All, to support the work that they're doing. And also to make sure that we educate people that we believe in a just clean, or a justice clean, and that really, we must have environmental justice. And that is something we're wholeheartedly committed to.
Yes, yes, yes. And we'll have Green for All in the show notes, so you can log on and explore more of Green for All. That's really, really awesome. Very, very cool. This is great. Okay, and a big news. A little bird told me that you are celebrating 51-year anniversary of Earth Day during Earth Week, and how Earth Day is really big at ECOS. So I know you've elaborated some, but let's share more about it and what it means to you and your
Well, as you can imagine, Earth Day is our biggest holiday of the year. It's what we're most excited about, So Earth Day, just for your audience, it started in 1970, and as you said, 51 years ago. And it's amazing how much it's grown, right? Back then it was 20 million people, Republicans, Democrats, all coming together to say that we have to have change. And now as we look at it, 200 countries now celebrate Earth Day. Over 1 billion people celebrate it. And so it's a really important time to come together.
Mhm.
And in 2021, it's all about restore our Earth.
Mhm.
And I love that the theme this year is about restoration. And so at ECOS this year, we're doing a few different things. Number one is that we, on April 1st, announced that we are a climate positive manufacturer. So that means that we give back more to the earth than we take. And we believe it's important to move past sustainability and to move into regeneration and replenishment. And so that has been our commitment. On April 2nd, we filed our application for all of our facilities to be LEED Net Zero certified, because we want to make sure our consumers know how sustainable our manufacturing facilities are. We relaunched a brand new website at ecos.com to share our climate positive story, because a big part of what we want to do is inspire other businesses to undertake this important work. Businesses must champion change. Businesses must act. If we're going to really protect our beautiful shared planet, business has to be a key player. We can't just wait for the government or someone else to do it. And so that's been very important to us. When Earth Day started, they created the Environmental Protection Agency, which is a wonderful agency we partner with on our Safer Choice certifications. But at the time it started in 1970, they grandfathered in 83,000 chemicals that were never checked for human health and safety. I mean, can you imagine 83,000? And in 2016, when they were working on the Toxic Substances Control Act, the government said that they would check 10 chemicals a year for human health and safety. 10 is nothing, right?
Yeah.
That list started with asbestos, which we all know asbestos is not good for human health. Do we really need to study that? So it's something that, for us, this Earth Day on our new website, we released a list of what we call the nasties, which are the 500 chemicals we would never use in our products. And if you go to our website, you can read about what chemicals are in traditional cleaning products, how to read labels, what to avoid. And honestly, as I sit with you here in 2021, it's the first time I can even talk about the consumer actually reading labels, because On January 1st, California became the first state in the nation to require labels on cleaning products. And
Great.
it's shocking to think this because other countries, Europe, Asia, have had this for so long.
Oh
But
yeah.
in the United States, it's still not required at a federal level
Oh,
to disclose ingredients in cleaning products.
yeah.
So at least in California now, you can look at the back of the cleaning product. And if we're not going to regulate what goes into them, let's at least give the consumers a chance to know what they're buying.
And you know what? I was gonna ask that, and then you just organically said it. So that's amazing. But we'll have that in the show notes so people can have that direct link. But just off the get, like I know there's so many, like 500 nasties and more. But just off the get, what are like maybe top? I want to say 3 to 5 that are just absolutely stay away from.
Oh man, there's so many carcinogenic substances. So, one of the things that comes to mind first and foremost is 1,4-dioxane. So I said in 2016 in the TSCA reform, they identified the 10 biggest chemicals to go after. And that was one of the 10, 1,4-dioxane. 1,4-dioxane is in most cleaning products. But the thing is, it's a little tricky because it's a byproduct of the manufacturing process. You actually have to read the ingredients for ethoxylated surfactants because they're the ones that produce 1,4-dioxane. And so 1,4-dioxane is found in laundry, it's found in dish, it's found in so many things. And that is one we should be on the lookout for. Things like formaldehyde, right? These carcinogenic preservatives. You use formaldehyde to embalm a dead body. It should not be utilized as a preservative in our cleaning products, right?
What about, I know you don't do hair products, but I was Googling and reading about formaldehyde and hair
Yes,
products. Is it good for hair
yes.
products or no?
No, it's
No.
so
Okay.
toxic for
Okay.
human health. It's
Yeah.
so
Oh, wow.
toxic, but it is used in so many hair products. And,
That's why
people,
people are losing their hair and people are like, "Oh, why are
yeah,
you losing your hair?"
yes, yes. And then imagine things are being absorbed through our scalp. I mean, the skin is the largest organ in our body. We
Yeah.
absorb things quicker through our skin than what we put into our mouth. So when we're putting formaldehyde and other things on our skin and it's being absorbed into our bodies, we're seeing all of these diseases on the rise, and people are looking for ways to protect their families. One of the quick actions they can take is to read the ingredients and only bring safe cleaning products into your home. Only bring safe personal care products into your home. Protect your skin and your environment.
Well,
When I said we partnered with the EPA, they have a wonderful program called Safer Choice. And so if you look at the front of our products, I'll show you one of our products here for
okay.
your people that are
Whoa,
looking at
that's a
the
big
video,
one.
right?
Whoa,
You
that's
can
a big one.
see the Safer Choice logo. So
Yeah.
this is actually our Sam's Club size. It's larger. You
Whoa.
see the Safer Choice logo, and it's a wonderful logo that tells the consumer 3 things. It says that we've been third-party certified, which is important so that you don't have greenwashing. And they have checked that we've done 3 things. Number one, we're using the greenest ingredients available in any class. Number two, we're innovating in green science. And number three, also important, is that the products work. They're efficacious. Because if a product doesn't really work, it's not really green. And so,
And just to go a little bit deeper, because like you're
yes,
like, oh, if it's really green, and maybe you've already said it, you probably already said it, but just to like, psychologically, what do you mean by really green? How do you know it's really green? The label's important, but what do you mean like really green?
yeah, and so that's where third-party certifications are important to me, Kitty Aki, because there is no federal body that's regulating cleaning products. It's important that companies really partner with third parties that are verified, that they're going to come in, that they're going to check that you're doing what you're saying you're doing, that we're using plant-powered surfactants that come from nature. For us, ours come from coconut. Coconut is such a wonderful, renewable, replenishable ingredient. There's no reason to use a petroleum derived surfactant when you have coconuts. And you think about it, you have this hard outer shell that protects that beautiful inside white copra that makes a wonderful, wonderful surfactant. But that third party certification, I like Safer Choice because it's a government sponsored certification. It is not a pay to play. That's another thing that I think is becoming a little ubiquitous where you can pay and get something. You got to make sure that you're really working with a credible entity.
And that's the thing. And is all that on the website too? Because it's so
Oh,
difficult
absolutely.
with all the stuff going on. It's like, how do you, oh, you think this is real? You click and it's not real. It's a pay to play or it's a scam. And
Right.
people aren't educated. They don't know. And something I wanted to say when you were speaking earlier is, I mean, it's like on the Google that, human beings now have the attention span of a goldfish of like 7 or 9 seconds. So for you to say
Yes.
like, yeah. And then so to read this, a lot of people with the comprehension level, with mental health, with
Yep.
ADHD, it's
So
difficult for a lot of people to
I'd
read
say
things.
to make it easy as possible, if you pick up a cleaning product and you look at the back and there's no label and there's no listing of ingredients, do not buy cleaning products that don't list ingredients. Step one, because you should not support any brands that aren't comfortable disclosing to you what's in the bottle. So step one would be just that. And then step two would be, as you read the ingredients, are they clearly communicated to you? So for instance, if you read our ingredients, right, we're constantly telling you it's a plant-derived surfactant, it is natural. We're constantly explaining it. Do you understand the ingredient deck? Are they taking the time to explain it to you? And if it's a company that really is transparent and is sharing the information, that is the simplest step that you could take, and only support those brands. And then when you go to the next step, look for things that come from nature, that are plant powered, that are pronounceable, that are recognizable, right? Things that, you really recognize because they come from nature and they're not synthetic. That would be step two.
And we know why. We know why. But the person listening or the people who don't know why and they're like, why? Why?
Right.
Why?
Why? And it's
Why?
because you want to protect yourself and your loved ones from so many of these illnesses that are taking us too soon, from cancer, from asthma, from nerve and organ damage. So often we wonder why someone has become ill, and we have to start talking about prevention in our society. What can we do to prevent ourselves from becoming sick? We have to eat clean, we have to exercise, and we have to live and breathe in healthy environments. Cleaning products are critical to your long-term health. They're critical to planetary health, but they're critical to your health and your family's health. And you have complete control. There's so many things in our world we don't have control over, right?
Yeah.
Your kid goes to that school. Oh my gosh, what are they breathing all day? They go here. But when they come into your home, you are the boss. You are the decision maker. You are the one who gets to decide what enters your home. You have all the power. And I would just encourage people to vote with their dollars. Vote for brands that are creating safe products. Vote for brands that are doing the right thing. Make sure that things don't enter your door that are not healthy for you, for your family, for your
For
pets
your
as well.
pets.
I
For
mean,
your pets. Yes. Yeah. The pets and the
your
kids.
pets. We
So
do a whole line of pet ecos products
yeah.
because pets are part of the family too. We do a whole line of baby products. We partner with the Walt Disney Company, and we do a whole line of Disney baby ecos products
Chill.
because infants are born with 200 dangerous chemicals coursing through their bodies, and it's unnecessary. Like, there are so many of these chemicals that are coming from cleaning products, and we need to really stop that.
So okay, to cut and to go into two different areas, same
Yes.
same thing. But so for example, what we were talking about is let's say a household, they're washing their clothes and they're
Yes.
washing their clothes and they're in the washer and the dryer. But then if they're eco-friendly, cool. But if they're not, there's the chemicals. You think, oh, I'm washing my clothes. They're being washed. They're going through their tumbler. They may have a smell or not, no scent, smell, whatever, but then you're actually putting them on your body and
Yes.
there's chemicals. And
Yes.
you're the expert, so you'll
You're
explain
you're
what is
absolutely
happening
right.
when I'm putting
So
these on my body.
that residue, listen, you take it out of your dryer and you smell it. And so many
Mm.
people love the smell of garden fresh or tropical breeze or, oh my goodness, whatever synthetic fragrance and whatever things. But you put these things on your body, the residue is on it, right? And that residue is quickly absorbed through your skin. And so that's what's the damaging thing here. Those residues, you want to make sure to buy products that are not leaving a residue and are certainly not leaving a toxic residue. Because the thing is, smell is the closest thing tied to memory. And so these consumer products brands are creating products that smell like something you love. And so you put it on. I mean, you imagine your mask, it covers your face. It's horrible. If you're washing this, you're actually inhaling that residue, right?
Yeah.
So it's super important that we think about what residues are left and are they leaching into our skin, into our bodies, and compromising our health. And and it's just the evidence is unbelievable. I can remember back in 2004. Imagine, this is 17 years ago. They came out with studies to show that the auto dishwashing detergents that people were washing their baby bottles with were
Uh,
linked to giving children asthma. And it's unbelievable. You would see a mom who is taking all these precautions, but she's missing that one step of the cleaning products. And I want to just raise the flag and wave it as strong as I can that if we take the time to pump breast milk, but we put it into a baby bottle that's been washed in a machine. I mean, so many of the auto dish detergents, if you look at the back of them, they have skulls and crossbones and they say, do not ingest. Yet every day we ingest them because the residue is on these things. So we have to really, really think about that
yeah.
extra step that we take.
Yeah. And two things. One, like my mom was born with some kind of bronchitis. It's like acute something. Like she's always coughing. And so like that's why I really when I was telling Pamela, she's amazing, love Pamela. I was telling
She
Pamela, I'm like,
is.
I know. I was like, Pamela, I need to like get this for my mom because she's like the queen of cleaning. She like loves it. And it's like she need with her coughing, like she can't be breathing in any chemicals. Like I need to be like
Right.
making a stance as a young, socially responsible daughter who's into the environment and everything. And it's like, it's up to us youth to,
It is.
like your dad, like stood up what? And then you had big shoes to fill. And what you've done on a planetary level, I mean, your legacy will carry on and your father's. And oh, there's this Egyptian proverb. They say you die twice when you physically die and then when people stop talking about your legacy. So your legacy, your father's legacy and your legacy, and that's a part of being on She's All Over the Place to have these honoring moments so people are educated and aware of everything that we're talking about. So this is very exciting. And
Thank you.
yes. But so I wanted to get it from my mom because she was born and she's like it's like the whole house is like a tornado. It's like bleh, it's like shakes because and it's like she needs to be having, and I know if she's using chemicals, it's irritating it, it's making it worse. But if she has the
It
ECOS
is.
products, it's so much better for her.
It
Right.
is.
She
It
loves the
is.
lavender. She loves lemon. Those are her things. So you have a bunch of different flavors that people can see and smell and try out. Um,
Yes.
and circling back around to the residue you said. So when it comes out of the
Yes.
laundry and it goes to the residue, which means
Yep.
like we have like correct me and you're the technical expert here, but we have like our organism and then we have these little pores. And
Yes.
so
That are open.
that go especially after a hot shower, our pores are
Yes.
open. That's why it's best to do a facial when like your pores are open, or if you're gonna
That's
pop a zit,
right.
do when your pores are open. But then so then it's going the chemicals are going into the pores of our skin that you can't see because they're so little, but then it's going
Yes.
into our bloodstream. It's going into our bloodstream and it goes into our vital organs. That so
That's right.
to break it down for the people who are still like who need to get deeper in, because people oh no, you need to get like deeper in, like it's going into your
Yes.
pores, into your body, into the
Yes.
blood of your blood, and into our organs. So
That's right.
and we are our vessel. You get a car,
That's
it,
right.
you drive the car, how you treat the car, it's going to last, it's going to break down, it's going to be gone. You just go through cars. We have
Yep.
one human body. We have a
We do.
chance to be here and it's a gift to be here. How are you honoring your body? How are we being sacred to honoring what we digest? We're human. We do things. We're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to have that. It's not very good for me, but like I'm still going to do it." But it's like
Right.
being mindful, but it's like
Being mindful and doing things in moderation.
but if there are
Ab-
certain things like, the ECOS brand where we can
yes.
incorporate and eliminate those toxins, we don't need to go back and forth between chemicals and being green in that department.
You do not. You never do. So someone like your mother, especially whose bronchial tubes are suffering, whose lungs are compromised, or who's coughing and actually having a response to things that she's either breathing in or eating, or maybe, it's so interesting. I have a histamine intolerance and I had started coughing and I was wondering why I was coughing. And I I couldn't figure it out. And in the end of the day, it came down to makeup. There was an ingredient in makeup called sodium benzoate that would produce a histamine response in me. And I would start coughing. It was so challenging to figure out how to get there. But, I was able to, there's a company called Beauty Counter that lists all their ingredients. And I could go onto the website, I could read all of their ingredients, and I cut out all of the products that had sodium benzoates, and the coughing stopped, right? But so often it's hard to get down to what is it that is causing our body to have this inflammatory response. And coughing is a sign that you are in distress, that something is going wrong. We have to figure out the root of it. What is happening? So cleaning products should be one of the first places we go. People think about food again. Food allergies are critical, and they should definitely address those. But cleaning products with their volatile organic compounds, with everything that we're inhaling, are one of the first irritants for our respiratory airways. And so, I know a lot of people, their parents utilize a certain brand and they buy the brand that, there's a lot of brand loyalty. But with younger people, you're not seeing the same brand loyalty, because for the first time, we have so much access to information. We can go online, we can Google it, we go on our phone. Consumers, they're forensic consumers, they're searching for things. And so because we have access to so much more information, we realize we don't have to be brand loyal. We can make the decisions that are truly best for our bodies, that are truly best for the longevity of our health. And it's so important to live not just a long life, but to live a healthy life. We do so many things here at ECOS to talk to our team members about how to be their healthiest. We just did this program on brain health, right? And the idea that before we talk about mental health, let's talk about brain health. Does your brain function properly? Because if your brain's not functioning properly, of course, you're going to have mental health issues. And, and really looking at all the cleaning products that compromise brain health, right? So there's all these different, as you said, organs being affected by the distribution of these toxins in their bodies, including your brains, including your lungs, including your liver. And we need to just make sure that cleaning is part of their wellness routine.
Are there a couple key articles maybe that we could put in the show notes so people can read about that brain health to
Oh
know
my
a
goodness. If
starting
you go to
point?
ecos.com,
Yeah.
one of the things that's so critically important to us as a company is to be a resource. We want to make sure that we offer education. We want to make sure. So if your listeners go to ecos.com, we have such a treasure fold of all sorts of things that they can read about all of these different issues. It'll take them to articles. It'll take them to blogs. It'll take them to resources. It'll talk about all of these things. So please go to ecos.com and you'll find so much information, because first and foremost, when we launched our new website for Earth Day this month, our first goal was to be a resource.
Congratulations. That's so cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to kind of pivot to that we're talking about also is so with the cleaning products, when people are actually washing the dishes by hand or
Yep.
putting them in the dishwasher, you're washing the dishes, but if you're not using ECOS or a green certified company, then you're washing them with chemicals, and then these chemicals are on the plate. So they're the thing that's hard
Yes.
for people, they can't comprehend, because it's like, oh, mental health, it's invisible, or chemicals, they're invisible, but you're cleaning, and like you said, then they're on the plate, but then you're eating it and it's going right
Oh,
into
yes.
your
I mean,
lungs.
imagine people take their dishes out of the dishwasher and they go, smells like lemon. Oh no, that for me, that smells so dangerous. It's caustic, it's bleach, it's got all of these things in it. And so, you've got this correlation between lemon fresh and clean, and that's just simply not the case. And you're right. I mean, if your audience was just going to do two things, their laundry and their dish, they should look at those two things, because we're washing a lot of clothes and we're washing a lot of dishes. And especially as we're home this year and not dining in restaurants and not dining, you're washing a lot of dishes at home. And it's critically important that your dishwashing detergent, whether it's hand dishwashing or auto dishwashing, is safe for you and your family. We launched our ECOS. I'll show you. This is our ECOS here. You can see it. And this is our ECOS dishwashing,
Beautiful.
hand dishwashing. And when
Can
we
I-
came out with,
Can I tell you something really quick?
Yes.
Okay, just so you know, I got my mom the Meyer, and she's like, "This does not cut grease." She used the ECOS. She goes, "This cuts grease." Like she was like, I was like, "Mom, I'm like, you are a walking, talking commercial." I'm like, "I need to be recording you." I mean, these testimonials are what brands want. I'm like, "Mom, I'm like you." And then she was, because she went on, she said it like three other times, and she was like cleaning, and she was really interested to see if it was going to cut the grease, because she had the Myers brand, because I was, with their, the health and the cleaning,
Yes,
but she's like,
yes.
it does not cut grease. And I was like, oh my
Oh, well,
God.
tell her thank you, thank you, thank you. The primary claim that we have here is cuts grease, loves hands. And so I'm so glad that she found it so to perform really well. When we launched this product, we actually ended up, the EPA gave us their Safer Choice Partner of the Year. And it was because we were the first company ever to use a preservative in our dish product called ethyl hexylglycerin, or EHG, that previously had only been used in personal care. And the beautiful thing about this preservative, it doesn't just preserve the product, it actually is used to treat eczema. And so oftentimes when people are washing their dishes, they might get rashes, they might get cracked hands, they might have issues from really aggressive and caustic hand dishwashing soaps. Ours not only washes the dishes, but it also restores the moisture and ensures that your hands don't break down as so many traditional hand dishwashing products do.
Okay, two things. One, I know a couple people who have eczema, and they went to New
Yes,
York and it wasn't there. I don't know if they were using different cleaning products. Went back to LA, and all of a sudden, eczema here, eczema, just
yes,
eczema. And
yes,
it's
because of
probably
the air
from
pollution.
probably it's probably the air pollution. It's probably
It's
it's probably the cleaning products too.
and cleaning products for sure. There's so many pediatricians and nurse practitioners and others that have written into us to thank us when patients, have children suffering severe eczema or psoriasis or other skin conditions, and they're frantic and they're changing their foods and their diet. But in the end of the day, it was the laundry detergent. They
Yeah.
switch their laundry detergent to ECOS and the eczema goes away. And so we've got parents who've written in and medical professionals. And I'm just sorry that more people don't suggest that at the ready, right? Your
Yeah.
kids got eczema on their arms. What is the laundry detergent that you're using? Because that oftentimes is the primary reason that the child will have an issue. And so it's important. And so you're right, as people are transitioning between environments, they have to look at it holistically. What is the air that they're breathing? What are the products that you're using? Because that will certainly promote a flare up. And that inflammatory response that is happening, it's happening as your body is fighting these toxins.
Yeah, yeah. I have some ideas. I'll talk to you about it later, but I have some ideas. But the other thing I was gonna mention is just a little tidbit. I don't know if you know this or not, probably not. I don't know unless Pamela told you, but for the last over a decade, I've been parts modeling, hands, feet, legs. I've been the hands for Jennifer Aniston. I her
Oh, I
her
love it.
her feet, her legs. If you see the Emirates commercials, her coming out of the shower, there it's her face, my hands, my feet. And so
Oh,
as a parts model, it's so cool because like it's a direct booking. I don't go for an audition, and they just book me direct to hold products. To like I'm holding
yes,
like different beauty products or cleaning products, all products you can think about. But Ariana Grande, Rita Ora on their hands. So I would never be. I'm the girl who hasn't done any dishes because I'm like, oh, I got to keep these beauties nice and blah blah blah. But I love how you say, cuts greets and it's nice to hands, because it made me think, like, as and especially as a woman, like
yes,
ever around the eyes, the neck, and then the hands. They're like, oh, like, you look at a woman's like neck, around her eyes and her hands. So you saying about preserving the hands, because you're doing the dishes with the
yes,
hands, and it's super
yes.
important. Yeah, for reusing our hands all the time.
And then I'll see people who wash dishes wearing gloves, right? And I'm
Yes.
like, if they're using these harsh cleaning products, they're right to wear gloves because they're dangerous and
Yeah.
should not be touching their hands. But
Yeah.
there shouldn't be a need for that. You should be able to wash the dishes
Yeah.
with your hands because you're using something like our Ecos dish, which certainly won't harm, your hands.
Yeah, like a lot of housekeepers, I see them wearing gloves all the time.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
they understand, right? The housekeeper is continuously exposed to these dangerous chemicals, and they understand what it does to their bodies and their health over the years. And it's so unnecessary, Kiriaki.
Yeah. So speaking of everything we're talking about, and then just like deep diving even further about like women empowerment and ecos and the opportunities you're providing as a woman for women in the space. I thought that was really cool when I did your profile for Women History Month to celebrate you for, you
Thank
know,
you.
yeah, that was so cool. So everyone can look on the show notes and you can see the article I did on Kelly for Thrive Global to honor her as a boss woman for Women Empowerment Month. March 8th, it was Women Empowerment Day, Women's Day. So, but the whole month we celebrate it. So, you provide opportunities for females. Can you share some of that with us?
Well, absolutely. My goal has always been to run a company that reflects the consumers we serve. And 51% of our population is comprised of women, which means it's important that more than 50% of our executive team is comprised of women. And so we have a very diverse C suite and management team, and a lot of women running a lot of the company. Over 60% of our technical team, our green scientists, our R&D teams are also women. So really promoting women in STEM as well. And it's really, it's a source of great pride for me to lead a really diverse team. But it's really just about delivering a product that our consumer wants. And if you do not have diverse team members and leadership ranks,
Mhm.
you can never truly understand your consumer. You want different people from different backgrounds and different walks of life all coming together to strategize, to plan, and to implement a successful strategy for the company. And it was exciting in March when you wrote that piece. Thank you so very much. As my father came from Greece. My mother was African American, and so I'm quite diverse myself, and I celebrate both of my ethnicities, being Greek and African American, and certainly being one of the few Black women to run a national cleaning products company. It's something I'm really proud of, and I look forward to seeing us to continue to build a business world that looks like the rest of society.
Yeah, I mean, I just have chills running up and down. I have chills. So this is so cool and I feel so
Thank
honored
you.
to like, be a part of your journey and share your story. It's really really
Thank you.
beautiful. Yeah, definitely, definitely. So that's so cool, creating opportunity, spearheading, and then there's always room and for people who want to get involved, volunteer to be a part of the team. So,
Absolutely. We've got wonderful organization. We've got an amazing chief youth officer, Anushka, who leads all of our youth initiatives. We offer internships. I mean, there's always a space and a place for people to be able to contribute. And so I'd encourage your audience to, follow us at ECOS Cleans or follow me at Kelly from ECOS, and reach out if they're interested in kind of joining the movement that we're really wholeheartedly committed to furthering.
yeah, I think I need to have a follow-up conversation with her, Anishka,
Oh
because
yeah,
I
she's the best. I
yeah.
mean, she is, she first interned with us when she was 16 years old, and she was
Wow.
the youngest intern we had ever had.
Ooh.
She is now at Harvard University going into her third year, and just brilliant. She actually organized the Harvard Environmental Action Leadership Summit, and she brought all of the youth together at Harvard to actively advocate for change and for doing their part. And it was so beautiful to see that kind of, approach taken by someone so young and so dynamic and so talented. And, she's a true example that our youth, they're not our future leaders. They are our leaders now.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they are the ones taking a stand because this is the planet they will inherit. This is where they will live. And we are not making sound decisions for the best outcome for their future. And so you've seen all sorts of young people really rise up and protest and demand that
Mhm.
the older generations do better, be better, and follow their example.
Yeah, because it's gonna be through communication, the energy that you can't see, like the chemicals that you can't see, and the articles that people just skim through. So, I mean, I just definitely want to take a stance. And as a producer, and I have like ideas, and we can follow up and talk. But I want to like connect with her, and I have friends who are very much. I can create actionable steps of like 1 minute videos with a diversity of people, African, Asian, like Greek, like everyone, and have everyone do 1 minute videos of like what it means to them about ecos and chemicals and toxins in the environment. And then I have an editing team, and they can edit it, and we can have like a beautiful video, and we can have the youth come
I
together
love
and
it.
put this video together for you and
Yes.
for the ecos team, and for your dad, and for the planet. And I think we should curate this, and we could do like, I don't know, like quarterly videos or something like that, because I have all the people to bring it together, like, and you have your people too, but I can also take like young, cool, hip artists, and who are like have voices and want to be heard, and from different backgrounds and everything like that. And we can partner up with the Ecos brand and put them on the social platforms and get the
So
message
fun.
out to the people, so they share it
Yeah.
with other people and
Yeah.
our elders too, and so they can
Yes.
take part. Because when they see the youth speaking about it, or they see someone talking about it, then they're going to watch it, they're going to see it, and then they can make a new choice. And
Yes.
that's what we want. We just shift to make a new choice.
Yes. Yes.
Try it out.
Yes. And so much is just about awareness, right?
Yeah.
Oftentimes people just don't realize it. And
Yeah.
so if we can bring it to their attention
Yeah.
and we can do it in a powerful and compelling way, it's
Yeah.
so very important. That's why I
And
love the work that you do, Kitty. It's just important to have someone like you who lends their influential voice, their time, and their talent to bringing awareness to these issues that are really the greatest crises we face. And there
yeah.
are solutions, but we
Yeah.
must act.
Yeah, we're gonna act, and we're acting now. We're talking about it. This is how it all happens. And people love. I'm a sales girl, so people love incentives. So, well, there'll be an incentive. We'll figure out the logistics of it, but there'll be an incentive. It's like, try it out. Not only to try it out, but maybe there's like some kind of incentive, right?
I
That we
love
can
it.
curate or something. People love those kind of things.
Yes.
Yeah, cool, cool. I really appreciate you being on She's All Over the Place.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and I would definitely love to have you back in the near future, because we're evolving, and there's going to be so many more things to celebrate and talk about and keep the conversation going.
I love that. And I'd love to come back. And I know that Anushka, my chief youth officer, or Jenna Arkin, my, VP of innovation, they would love to be on the show too. They're amazing women doing fabulous things too.
Just got chills. We need to have them all on. Love that. Definitely make that happen. Now, just kind of taking a deep breath, a couple of closing moments here, like
Yes.
I don't know if we touched upon this, but you have children of your own. So as a
Yes.
mother of Mother Earth, of being a mother, um, like one or two tips that you would share with the listener out there, the viewer, of some actionable steps for inspiration, words, or actionable steps of what motherly advice that you would say regards to.
Yeah, my daughter is now 16 going on 17, and I have a beautiful stepdaughter who's 36 that works with me in the family business and does a beautiful job of leading our trade and shopper marketing team. And I would say from the time my daughter was born, I wanted to instill in her a love and appreciation for nature. And we spent a lot of time in the outdoors. Sometimes that was traveling, sometimes that was going to the beach or going for a hike, watching a sunset. And I would encourage people to get outside with their children, go outdoors and explore and encourage imaginary play and a deep and appreciation and a love for the preservation of our planet then develops in that child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And lead by example, make the right choices. I from my daughter's early years, whether it was composting, I got her involved, right? I didn't just do it for her, I had her do it with me. So
Mm.
how do we compost? How do we recycle? How do we make better decisions so that we don't just participate in things mindlessly? And children are amazing sponges. They absorb things so quickly. It is hard as adults to learn new habits, but with children, we have the chance from the beginning to instill these things in them from the start. And I would just encourage the parents that are listening to really just try and make sure that raise your children with a love and an appreciation for our beautiful shared planet. And that will serve them so well throughout their entire lives.
I love that. Two things. One, so it's like holding their hand, doing it with them, holding their hand. And you said as we get older, it's more difficult because we're
Yeah.
doing things on our own. That's why I ran cross country as an individual. What you do as an individual affects the whole, same thing in the planet. So it's like when
Yes.
I'm doing something by myself, it could be more difficult. But if I'm holding hands with other people in the
Yeah.
community and I'm finding someone to hold hands with who have similar interests, then we can figure and do it together and not be stuck and get frustrated because we're holding
Yeah.
hands and doing it together and it's more fun.
It is. It's so much more fun. And, I watched my daughter through the years grow up and, she's been in Girl Scouts for the last 12 years and she's led all sorts of environmental initiatives. And, she founded the National Women's History Museum Club at her school. And, these things that she grew up around, she absorbed and she internalized. And, she's now leading from within. And I just hope that we really take the time to really just show our children what a beautiful world we have, and
Yeah.
that anything that is beautiful should be appreciated, should be cherished, should be protected, and we
Yeah.
all need to do our part.
Yeah, for the people like who, are gonna, be having kids pretty soon or who have kids now. And what about the ones who maybe around my age or something who like they didn't have that from their mom and dad. So how,
Yeah,
like maybe an
they
actionable step that they can start being the leader and doing it for themselves first and then do it with another. Cause a lot of people are like, oh, I didn't have that. I didn't have that growing up.
right,
So
right. And it's all about education, right? It's about really just taking the time to read, to listen, to understand, to follow podcasts like yours, Kitty Aki, that are promoting these things, to connect with people that you respect and really, allow yourself in life. Learning and leadership are indispensable to one another. That's one of my favorite quotes that JFK ever said, right?
say it again.
Learning and leadership, they go hand in hand. You have to be a continual learner. My pencil is never down in life. Every single day, I'm trying to learn more so I can do better, so I can be better, so I could be a better mom, a better friend, a better wife, a better partner, a better leader. And so I think that as we get older in life, no matter what stage we're at, let's always be open to learning new and better ways and making better decisions so that we can have a healthy and happy long life.
Love that. Love those wise words. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much.
Thank
Seriously.
you. Oh,
Yeah.
Kitty, it was wonderful to be here with you today. Thank you for all the work that you do. And I can't wait this weekend to go home and to read Lover's Fairy Tale that I just got on Amazon. So super
Yay.
excited to read your book.
Cool, cool. Love poems. Yay. Yeah, I can't I'm excited here. Take your time, take your time. And then I would definitely love to hear the feedback of like what you thought and
I will.
how it
I
made you
will. I
feel.
love poetry and I can't wait to read it.
Cool, cool. Okay, cool. All right, great. On that note, thank you everyone for tuning in and being here. And I have just been inspired and I've deepened within my soul and within my body and in my being to be more conscious and more aware. I like to think that I am, but every day is an opportunity to learn more and to grow. And with Kelly's wise words, I hope you feel the same. Definitely hit 5 star. It really helps a lot for the show and leave a review, share this with someone you love, share this with friends in your family, share this on your platforms, educate people in your community. It's just one click away for you to be able to share. I'm getting some chills right now, and to support and inspire one another. That's the point of you being here. That's the point of us being here together. The number one most valuable thing is our attention, and you are here, and I value that you're here, and I'm so honored Kelly's here and I'm here, and we've all shown up for this conversation and for this moment. And this goes way beyond us. Kelly's father in the 1960s, and he's not here now, but he's with us in spirit, and we're here now. This is a moment in time. So we are the ripple effect, and we are making the impact. What are we choosing to do? Just sit on that, reflect on that, write on that, take actionable steps. And oh, yeah. I just want to say special shout out because our series launch first day, we had 1,100 downloads in one day. So the show is really growing, and I'm so grateful. So check call to action, check out the show notes, and get busy and get greener. Okay, we'll see you next time. Much love.
Thank
Yasas.
you. Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day. Yeah. Yeah.